Right, hello there everyone, welcome back to James Redmond TV, and I'm sorry that I haven't posted like a Redmond roundup and stuff recently. I've been filming for other people as well, but don't worry, we have still been posting every day. You've got to give that to me. We still got out a live match reaction, which was out yesterday. Make sure you go and check that out, and obviously an instant match reaction the day before. But we're back with a preview for the Atalanta game in the Champions League. Obviously, we've won all of our games in the Champions League, but this is still huge because we need to confirm it. If we can win this game, then the last two Champions League games don't have to even be thought about. Now, we will talk about the actual game itself in a bit. We'll obviously get into my starting 11 predictions, stuff like that. But we will talk about a bit of news as well. But obviously, you know how these previews work. Basically, we're going to do my starting 11 prediction, and then I'll give you a brief insight of what to worry about when it comes to Atalanta. Obviously, a lot of Liverpool fans are just going to have the thought in the head, well, we absolutely dominated them 5-0 last time, so why should we worry? There is still things to worry about within their squad because they've just got them type of players. They've actually got some top class players that we will have to watch out for, and that's what we're going to be talking about in this video. So before we get into anything, make sure you like and make sure you subscribe. And also, obviously, as always, make sure that you're getting involved in the comments down below, and the support has been immense. And let me know if you're still enjoying these previews, if you're still enjoying the Redmond roundups, then just keep liking, keep subscribing, just keep doing what you've been doing because you've been smashing it. Anyway, let's actually get into some news because obviously I haven't done a Redmond roundup for a while, so I just want to start off with a quick bit of injury news which actually relates to the game. So obviously Thiago and Keita is two players that I want to talk about because Thiago's been rumoured to be coming back recently, and it still doesn't quite know. It's still really up in the air of when he could come back into the starting 11. And we all want to see Thiago. We all want to see our star signing. I know Diogo Jota has been the man on fire, but Thiago was the main signing of the summer, and we haven't really got to see him. And when we have, he's been boss. When you talk about Naby Keita, another player who, in his pretty much whole Liverpool career, hasn't been able to really play more than 4 or 5 games, a run of 4 or 5 games, especially in the league. It's been unfortunate because when you think about these two midfielders in particular, in Naby Keita and Thiago, it's just, these are the two players that Klopp wanted. If you actually look back a few years ago, Klopp said the two best midfielders in the Bundesliga that I would like is Thiago and Naby Keita. He's got them two players, but they can't fucking play because they're injured. Klopp even came out and said he's got no news on Naby Keita yet, and just the list of people that are injured is insane. I've got it right in front of me. Virgil van Dijk, we already know. Naby Keita, who obviously got injured against Leicester, and I will keep you updated on when he will be back because right now that's unknown information. Trent Alexander-Arnold, we obviously know he's a huge loss at whatever point in the season, not just for this game. Joe Gomez is another player. He's going to be out for the rest of the season. And back on Trent, he should be back soon, but he definitely won't be back for this game. Now Mohamed Salah is a player that I want to talk about because he's actually back for this game. I've heard that he's had a negative test and he's been training with the team. Therefore, that should surely put him back in contention. He hasn't had an injury. He hasn't had anything. I'm sure COVID wouldn't have fucked him up too much to not be able to play in this game. Therefore, I think you start Salah, and I will obviously, I've just gave away that I'm starting Salah, for fuck's sake. Either way, that should have been inevitable anyway. I think that he does start. I don't think he's going to have too many fitness problems, and I think all you agree with me there. Nathaniel Phillips, Nat Phillips for those, I don't know why. I'm acting like I'm his mum. Nathaniel, get it? Nathaniel Phillips, not available for this game because he's not in the Champions League squad. The Ox, another player because he's back in training. He started his rehabilitation to coming back, but still not 100%. And then I talked about Thiago. Xherdan Shaqiri, I don't think, well, he's actually not available for this game because of another injury. And then Reece Williams as well. Again, a player that would have been useful. So, with all that being in mind, I do want to get into my starting 11 prediction. That's a lot of injuries that we have to take into mind there. And one thing I would have said before this game, before I get into anything, is rotate the squad. How can I rotate any squad after the list of injuries that I've just gave you? We haven't got half of our first team players, and we haven't got the majority of our second string squad, or second string 11. So how can we even rotate in a game that we actually can afford to rotate in? I've tried to do it in my starting 11. I just don't think I can come to a conclusion. This is the starting 11 that I've come up with. It's a mixture of what I think will start and what I want Klopp to go with as well. So let's just get into it. I usually prefer the 4-3-3 formation. I think that's our most fluid formation. But when you put into perspective that we don't need to win this game, we're still ideal and we'll still be upset if we lose, but we can afford to not having to play that great expansive football like we're usually used to playing. I think we go with the 4-2-3-1. We're lacking a lot in midfielders right now. Therefore, I think we've got to try and start more attackers because that seems to be the approach that we've took in the past. Anyway, in goal, I'm going with Alisson. I think, no doubt about that, Alisson's number one above anyone. Back four, left back I'll start with. And I think this is an interesting one. I've gone with Tsimikas because I want to see Tsimikas play a full 90 minutes. This is a game where he can play a full 90 minutes, even if he makes a mistake. And say it leads to an Atalanta winning goal. At least he's made that mistake in a game that's not going to cost us too much down the run. It's not 3 points that we desperately need. Obviously, if we ended up losing to Midtjylland and Ajax as well as Atalanta, then it'd be a travesty. But you couldn't put that down to solely Tsimikas. I think this is a game that'd be good for Tsimikas. But more importantly, I think it's the rest that Robbo needs. I think Robbo just needs to sit on the bench. Had a great game against Leicester. Won't take that away from him. But I've been saying it for a while now, people. Let's just keep our best players fit. And imagine a team with no Trent or Robbo. Robbo is so crucial to this team. Everyone's so crucial to this team. But I think when you just keep losing essential players like a Trent, like a Van Dijk, like a Alisson at the start of the season, and now a Robbo, that's when it starts to show. But for this one game, get in Tsimikas, and it gives Robbo the well-needed rest. Centre-backs, I've gone with Fabinho and Matip, so the same centre-back partnership. Like I said, no Reece Williams available for this game, no Nat Phillips. Obviously, you could maybe throw in Kumateo, but he hasn't had a first-team appearance this season, getting back from an injury himself. So, don't think he's going to appear. Therefore, I'm thinking it's just going to be the strongest centre-back partnership that we've got available for this game, which is them two. And then right back, again, you're going to raise an eyebrow at this, and that's absolutely fine. This is a Liverpool channel, and we're all entitled to our own opinions. But I've gone with Nico Williams over Milner. Now, let me get back to James Milner in a minute, but for now, I'm going with Nico Williams at right back, and again, it's a big partly due to, one, we lack a lot of midfielders, and two, this will be a good game for him to come in, and he could afford to make a mistake and get away with it. It'll give us a chance to see whether he's actually ready in this level, because Atalanta need 3 points, so you know they're going to want to turn up in this game, or at least do everything they can to turn up, so it's not just going to be, on paper at least, an easy game for Nico Williams. Therefore, isn't that a good test? Let me know in the comments down below. Anyway, midfielders, so the two holding DMs. So my back five is Alisson in goal, Tsimikas left back, centre backs Fabinho and Matip, and then right back Nico Williams. My two DMs, Gini Wijnaldum, and it would be Jordan Henderson, but there's no news on whether he's actually available for this game, and he's still doubtful. Therefore, I'm going to go with not Henderson, but James Milner. I'm not discluding Milner out the team completely, but I just think that with the fact we lack so many options in the midfield now, and we haven't got even a Shaqiri to fill in there, we haven't got a Naby Keita to fill in there like we usually do. Obviously, maybe you could throw in a Minamino or someone, but I can see more this type of a thing happening where he goes with a Gini and a Milner, or a Gini and a Hendo, if Hendo is fit. Again, keeping cards close to his chest, people. And then the front four, so on the left, you're going with Mane. On the right, you're going with Jota. In the 10, you're going with Firmino, and then up front, obviously, if my sources are correct, I'll be going with Mo Salah up front. If anything happens, then you've got to change that whole team around. Even, maybe possibly swap Mo Salah with an Origi or a Minamino. Other than that, I think that's a good enough 11 to beat Atalanta. Yes, we've got injuries, and yes, it's going to be a tough game. Speaking of a tough game, what should we worry about when it comes to Atalanta? Well, not much, because they've only won one game out of the last 6. In fact, the latest result was a 0-0 draw for the first time in over 12 months, by the way, to a newly promoted team in the Serie A. So they're not in great form. They're usually a very good team, but not in great form right now. And that's one thing that Liverpool need to really take advantage of. But one thing that you cannot discredit is they have still got good players. They've still got quality, and they have shown that. Papu Gomez, someone who actually gave us a few little issues in the first game. Yes, he finished 5-0. Yes, he didn't get too much of a sniff. But still a very good player, very agile, and can squeeze through players and can change this game. And like I said, Liverpool still want to win this game. And with the fact that Atalanta need points in this group, people like Gomez are going to need to turn up. And he's going to be a talk to from the manager. Listen, we need you in this game, so please turn up for us. And on top of that, he's got players around him who can turn up. Zapata, we know in the first game, if you watch the first game between Liverpool and Atalanta, Zapata was testing Alisson all night, and he was doing it to the point where he could have, if he took them chances away, made it a 5-2, 5-3. Now, Liverpool could have made it 6 or 7 with some of the chances they were getting as well. But still, you've got to be wary of it. You've always got to be open-minded to the fact they do have good, solid players, and that's one thing I'm going to give Atalanta their respect. They played good football. They didn't last time, don't get me wrong, but they still play good football in general, to the point where even though we're coping and Liverpool are doing well and tactically we're setting up perfectly, it does not mean we will go forward and do the same against every club. It's just not possible, in my opinion. I don't think it's possible with a first team. Yes, you can do it more with a first team and show more consistency, but especially with a second team, cracks have got to start showing soon. If the injuries keep going the way they are, is this the game where we could see a few cracks? Because I don't think we have yet. I think we've got away with these injuries in terms of performances. The way we're playing all right. Well, we're playing really good. Just beat Leicester 3-0. Top of the league, Leicester. Beat them. No issues. Atalanta aren't even in good form. In fact, you know what? Probably should have looked at this before the game. But what league are Atalanta in now? What position in the league is Atalanta in this Serie A? Because that'll be very interesting when it comes to deciding this game. Wow, 7th place. Drew the last 2 games. Won the one before that and then lost the 2 previous. So they basically won 1 out of the last 5 games in the league. Like I said, 1 out of the last 6 before. Milan are top of the table. Roma and Juventus and stuff are chilling. Inter Milan are chilling. But Atalanta are below all them teams. So it's a weird one. It's a hard one to predict. Again, how will Liverpool approach this game? They're going to want to win. They're going to want to get this over the line as early as possible for the many reasons that I've mentioned. But the number one being, we need to be able to rest. We need to be able to put out a second team, and even if it makes us worry about losing, we don't have to worry about the impact that loss will have on us. So I think that Liverpool are in a very good position in the Champions League at the minute, man, and I want to just see us keep going forward, keep pushing, and utilise these injuries. Like Jurgen Klopp always says, you've got to push forward. You know, we can't just be always hanging on the fact we've got injuries. You've got to push forward. So let me know in the comments down below what you think. As for the score prediction, I was going to end the video without doing one then. So as for the score prediction, I'm going to say Liverpool 3, Atalanta 1. I think this time they will get a goal, but with the fact that it's at Anfield, with the fact that our players are actually in form, I think we've got this. I think we've got this in the bag. The fact that they're not in form as well just goes to show that this is going to be a difficult night for them. We don't usually lose at Anfield, but we have lost at Anfield in the Champions League before. You know, it's in the league that we're getting this great run, but whenever the last time we lost at Anfield in general was whenever it was. But Atalanta won't even be thinking about that. They just need 3 points. We need to be aware of that. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. I'm going 3-1. Leave your score predictions. Leave your starting 11 predictions. Thank you for watching. Leave a like, leave a subscribe, and I will see you all in a bizzle. Peace out.